Hey guys, this is GameCow. Welcome back to Touhou, the Genius of Savros. Last time we beat up some dudes in stage 21 and got wrecked also in stage 21 by mid-boss stuff. And yeah, we picked up all the treasure chests. I've kinda determined that I am actually able to take on Lithos at the moment, although it may be a bit more luck-based than it would be if I was higher leveled, particularly with one character who happens to now somehow has managed to find herself as my weakest character again. But the dynamics of that are always interesting in these final stages. But yeah, I can do it, so we are going to give that a go. But if it fails, well, we'll just go back to what we were going to do next part anyway, which is fight some more dudes and try and get some more stuff. Because I know for a fact I'm too underleveled for the final boss at the moment on most of my characters. So yeah, we're kind of going to go in not necessarily like intentionally with my strongest characters, but Sanai, Alice are very good for this fight. Satori is a new addition. Byakuran was who I used to have in that spot, but Satori I think is a bit more stable because of the way this boss works. So yeah, this boss is annoying. Lithos is just irritating to deal with. So the main things that Lithos does, apart from spell card stuff, well, at least just general magic-based stuff, she has some water attacks, I think, as well, which I could maybe defend against, but I don't know. She mostly deals with charm and petrify stuff. I mean, you'd expect petrify because we've seen that already when she petrified Ran, so you need to have good resistance to that. But yeah, the other main thing she deals with is charm, and that is irritating to deal with, let me tell you. So basically most of my gear is going to be set towards that, and I mean, she has a rapier, so stab is something that could potentially happen, so we have some resistance to that anyway. Other than that, it's the usual stuff with Sana, you know, magic reflect is quite good for this fight, because Lithos does a lot of magic based stuff, and yeah, that's essentially all we need there. So the Mother Nature's robe is not the best defensive piece of armor I have for this rank, but it does have disable resistance, which helps to mitigate petrify. So that is basically what we're going with here for Patchouli, is that and then charm resistance off of the Vampire's Wing. Some magic attack, a lot of HP, and we have the catalogue here because it has the most Magic Exorcism. There is a little bit of Divine Barrier shenanigans in this fight, so having Exorcism is a good trait. Hence why we are using this, because the Rod of Penitence only has 20% Exorcism, or no, it's not 20, it's 25 Exorcism, and that's not really good enough because magic is hard to hit with in this fight anyway, so yeah. Notori, oh Notori. So Lithos is weak against stab and fire, as you'd probably expect. It's the other two, well, maybe not the fire part, but the stab part you'd expect, because, let's see, Annis is weak against slash, Vio is weak against strike attacks, so the only physical element left is stab, and fire happens to be a weakness as well, so Notori being an elemental stab user is quite good for the fight in that sense, but her accuracy is awful, and Lithos' evasion is insane. So, unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to use the cannon attacks here. Like, I'm not going to be able to use Lazy 8 because it is not accurate enough. I don't have a way right now of making it hit enough times to make it work. But regardless, I'm going in. The ribbon is decent enough for permanent stuff. It's not perfect, and Notori can still get affected by stuff that way, but regardless, this is about the best I've got for it. I mean, since I'm not using Lazy 8, I don't really need the Magic Ring 4 here, but I don't have anybody else I would put it on. Maybe Patchouli, but even then, I don't think Patchy actually needs it, so yeah. And then accuracy is still needed because chasers can miss, and chasers are what we're going to focus on here, so I'm probably going to change a couple of skill things around when we get to that so that I can improve my... although I don't think I need to, really. But I might do it anyway because Lazy 8 is completely useless in this fight, so yeah. Alice, I still need the Diamond Shield because of the fact that it blocks magic as well. Potentially Exorcism Rune Shield would be the better one to have here, but I don't have it, so I can't use that. And the Perseus Shield would be nice because it's immune, grants immunity to Petrify, but it only blocks physical attacks, so that would leave the entire party vulnerable in that sense, and that is not very good. This armor I actually should really switch to the Ogre Mail here because it's a little bit better on defense, and Earth is not an element which is used, so we'll go with that. It's not much better, to be honest, it's like 4 points. And I guess there's magic defense to take into account, so really it's not worth switching in the long run because I have a natural stab resistance anyway, and that tiny bit of magic defense is probably more useful. Anyway, Petrify, Charm, Resistance, and then the Cute Soul I'm putting here so that I can use Little Legion a lot of times, because I will want to do that during this fight. Then we have Satori, who, like I said, is a recent member here. Byakuran's pretty good for this fight because she has natural Petrify resistance on her robe, which is good, but I am instead going with Mind Control on the Philosopher's robe, and then this is about the best. It's not actually the best thing I have left right now. I do have the Petrification Guard. It used to be the best thing I had, but then I switched stuff around, so yeah. Petrify is kind of useful here, and that's a resistance thing. And then just a little bit of extra HP and some magic attack because Satori is attacking here as well. So the reason I've switched to using Satori over Byakuran is because then I can use my chaser stuff more effectively, and I don't have to worry about the accuracy quite so much. So yeah. And then Moko, bombs, extra bomb off of this, which is why she's not using the Melon Sword, because I get a bomb here. The Kusanagi would have also given me a bomb, so I didn't necessarily need this weapon, but it's nice to have, so yeah, extra bomb stuff. Growth-wise, pretty much the same as what we had before. This is as good as I can make Sanai at the moment with her stuff, so not really any differences there. Same with Patchouli. I don't have the MP cost down, unfortunately, but I do have some magic evasion, which I think is quite good for this fight because there's a lot of magic attacks going about, so being able to dodge those is good. And using attacks twice is better than critical hits when you are dealing with chasers, because the chaser can then activate on both of these attacks, and it's super cool. Otherwise, the cooldowns so that I can use my fire attacks every turn, and I had 2 points left, so the book tree gives more magic attack than 2 intelligence would, so yeah. Then for the Tori, because I don't really... I mean, there's no perfect dodge in this fight, and I can't use Lazy 8 because it doesn't have enough accuracy. I think I'm gonna just take these 2 points out so I can have a little bit more resistance and have bombs +1. I mean, I think this would increase water resistance, so that should help there. And yeah, the extra bomb is potentially useful because Purgatory Impale can hit, so that's a thing, although I might switch that because I use Element Bullet, so I might end up using Zero Kelvin Buster instead, because that will still be a fire move. Then Alice, same as before, nothing different there. Satori is now using 20 points in the eye tree because I have enough points for that, although I could go ahead and max out Learning Tree again. I'd be more likely to do that instead of MP actually. How much MP does Satori have? Almost 400. She doesn't use enough MP for that. The reason is, there's a skill which Satori can learn in this fight, and whilst I've learned it every time so far, I'm pretty sure it's not a 100% learn rate here. I think it's like 20% base chance. So, unless it's been upgraded for Weekend. It might have been upgraded for Weekend, I just don't remember. But in any case, that's 366 MP is still enough, because she's mostly using Sunburst, and that takes 10 MP a go. So, yeah, Satori will have enough MP to last like 30 turns, 36 turns, or something close to that. So she'll be fine. And then Moko bombs. I was initially trying out Moko for this fight because she has some fire attacks, but accuracy is an issue because Lithos has 140 evasion. It's insane. Like, even Yomu misses with her attacks with Manusa stance. What the hell? It's just ridiculous. Anyway, skill-wise, we have all lowercase stuff again. I have no idea what causes that, but yeah, this happens sometimes. If I cancel out, it's still there, but if I pause in, cancel out again, it's still there. Okay, so yeah, apparently we just have all lowercase stuff for Sunlight this time. I think that's something to do with bringing Arrow offline, you know, by opening XSplit. Not the point. Because Sanai's accuracy buff is not good enough to make Lazy 8 actually work. So instead, I've just forsaken that entirely, and in case somebody gets petrified or charmed, I'm gonna have Miraculous Cure as well, because I don't want to waste 2 bombs just to have one person get cured, because usually that's what happens. It's usually like Alice gets charmed, or say Notori gets petrified, or something like that. So there really isn't a point in me using anything else here. I just hope, obviously, Sanai doesn't get petrified, because, you know, that would suck. For Patchouli, of course, everything's focused on fire skills, because that is the weakness here. I'm probably not going to use Agni Radiance too often, even though it is the most powerful attack I have here, because bombs are very limited. This fight's going to last quite a while, so I need to use Hotspot Vulcan maybe 3 or 4 times in the fight. So yeah, it's not worth it. And then Notori did have Lazy 8 up here, but because Lazy 8 is kind of useless, I need to switch the skill around. And, well, Extending Arm is a thing, but it's not as good as Zero Kelvin Buster, so we'll put Zero Kelvin Buster first. Purgatory Impale is no longer going to be particularly useful, so I guess I could just put Spitfire on there. I'm probably not going to use it, but whatever. If for some reason Patchouli runs out of bombs, then Hydro Camouflage is something which I'm considering, but it is a field skill, and then that, you know, conflicts with my power from the fire stuff. Speaking on fire, another potential formation here would be the Inferno form, which I could consider, to be honest. I haven't actually shown the Inferno line off much, and well, it would work pretty much the same way, I think. I'm a little bit concerned that it's not a proper line though, so I might not be able to fully defend with that. That is something I don't really know, and it's making me think I shouldn't really use the formation, but at the same time it would raise my attack power quite a bit, and I am finding that damage is a bit difficult in this, so maybe it's worth it, I don't know. Anyway, skill-wise, Alice is the same as always, except for the Puppet Shield here, but that's not going to get used anyway. It's all Little Legion, Marionette, and Rainbow Parallels, so yeah. And Satori, like I said, she's going to focus on Sunburst, but I do have Flame in case I need to manipulate the land in the first few turns. I don't really need to manipulate the land though, it goes up quick enough as is, so I won't really use this, but it's there just in case because I don't really have a better skill to put here. Mass Heal is not especially useful, but given the fact if I just switch to formation, I don't know how many I can heal in one go here. I don't normally use the Inferno form, so whatever. Reflect Wall does not reflect spell cards like Vortex. Spoilers, Vortex is involved here. Yeah, Vortex and the Petrify and Charm spells do not get reflected by this, so that's kind of annoying. Leaf Shield does help a little bit at protecting Sunai, but again it doesn't stop Vortex, so that's dumb. And yeah, Sunburst is one I'm going to be using most every turn, so yeah. And then that is basically it. So with that said, let's have a go, and let's just experiment with the Inferno form and see if that actually does anything. So, that's it. Oh no, Yukari didn't win somehow. Who saw that coming? So yeah, apparently Yukari has been petrified. But how did she get to be lying down? Don't you have to look at the don't you have to look at Lithos so that she actually does petrify you? That doesn't make much sense, but maybe Lithos has another way of doing it. But apparently, yeah, she lost, and she's even on her knees. Yeah, this is serious. If Yukari has lost her, like Yukari's one of, if not the strongest character in Touhou, right? So yeah, if Yukari has gone, I love how Aya just is instantly snapping up a picture here. So yeah, this is of course Lithos. Nice to meet you, indeed. The abnormal divinity, oh man. Uh-huh. She is definitely the final culprit. I like how her third eye is still open even when her other eyes are closed. That's kind of cute. But yeah, she is the youngest Gorgon sister, Lithos. Medusa Gorgon. Yep. Indeed. I don't know how you managed to do it, but apparently you petrified Yukari, so yeah, to teach a lesson. Really, Medusa, yep. Well, I guess. I mean, how would you explain that? Yeah. Well, I mean, if she's already dead then, are you a ghost? No. So how does this work then? If you are dead, but still here... Okay, so she's not actually dead, but being in Gensokyo is the same as death? That's not very nice. No, I'm not getting it either. The sister's words, blah blah blah, miss with nonsense, and yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that could kind of make sense. Yeah, so she's no longer in the real world, but she's in the dream world instead, right? Quite a bother to others, indeed, Smugtory, indeed. I rudely entered. Yeah, well, what is the meaning of all this? That isn't really something you should be asking. Impudent. Yeah, a little bit. Indeed. That's, humans are unharmed by it. Well, not all of us here are humans, that's for sure. And there's gonna be an uprising for stuff. Well, yeah, it would actually. It would be pretty convenient for Reimu if she didn't have to go and hunt yokai. But, you were totally not into that before this. Like, you were totally I don't care at the start of this game. Come on. This is true though, that resentment is definitely something that could build up, and that is a very bad thing. Yeah, that's gonna cause problems down the line. So you don't yeah, there is a balance, and you should really try and appreciate it. But too bad, she says no. She just outright refuses. So yeah, instant will not end until the goal has been achieved. And answer me. No, never. She just refuses. Mimu's like, what? That's not supposed to happen. So yeah, we're gonna have to beat her in order to know. Alright, well that was what we were gonna do anyway, right? It's the easiest way for us to, yep, force it out of you. And so a challenge has been met, because of course we have defeated her two sisters, so she wants revenge as well. Pretty simple goal. Byakuya noting that, and the contrarian nature coming out again here. No, I totally don't care about anything, no. Sundara, come on. Yeah. Anyway, talk is cheap, let's fight, basically. You shall face... Yeah, you're not involved in this at all. Lithos heavily resists light, so nuts to you, Reimu. Maybe if you had your super heal, then that would be okay, but... So she claims to be the strongest. I don't think I could consider her the strongest, but I do consider her the most annoying of the sisters. So, let's have a go. Right. So the things you need to know about this fight, at least to start with, is that I cannot defend my entire set in one go. So this formation's not particularly great, after all. That's okay, we can just defend our attackers and we should be just about alright here. So, the things you need to know about this fight. As I said before, Lithos has 140 evasion, which means that physical attackers are going to have a hard time actually damaging her, despite the fact that she only has 100 physical defense and a weakness to stab attacks. She also has a resistance to strike, if I remember rightly, so Malko's fists are not super good here. The second thing is that she has 25% Divine Barrier and 300 magic defense, which makes magic attacking pretty difficult as well, because most magic has no exorcism on it whatsoever. The third point, and probably the most annoying point of the lot here, is that she spams Vortex a lot, and Vortex is basically a world skill, or a global target that debuffs everything. As I don't think I showed that off with Genji. Genji was the only other one who could actually use Vortex by this point, but this will likely be your first encounter with it, because Genji only used it if you used Horaidol with Alice. So yeah, speaking of Horaidol, I should probably use that turn 1 here, right? Oh, but I didn't actually put Horaidol on. Whoops. Never mind then, we will not Horaidol turn 1 because I apparently don't have the skill. Most of the other stuff that she does is not overly strong. Like, she has a Petrify spell that she will always use turn 1. She has a Charm skill that affects your whole party, which can be annoying. And other than that, she has a couple of hard hits, but nothing you can't handle by now. Especially if you're using Alice. So yeah, that's generally how this fight goes in a nutshell. So Lee's shield is pretty good. Oh, ouch. Okay, that kinda hurt a bit more than I wanted. So the fact that I can't defend my entire party in one go is going to be a big problem here, I'm thinking. Anyway, the second turn she usually uses Vortex, so I'm going to Leaf Shield this turn so that I can hopefully defend against that a little bit better. Let's Zero Kelvin Buster this turn because I'm not quite set up enough to do all of my Chaser stuff just yet. How many characters can I heal in one go here? Everybody except Satori, by the looks of it. If I want to heal Satori, I can only heal 3. Yeah, the Inferno formation is not as good as the Poison Shield for what I wanted to do here. But I should still be kind of okay. It would be a lot better if I had Horidol, actually. I'm sort of noticing that now. Oh, she didn't actually use... she didn't use Vortex, though. Oh well, that means she's probably going to use it this turn just to be a jerk. But that's okay. So now that I have my physical attack buffed, I mean, I could use Zero Kelvin Buster every turn, but I don't want to wear out Notori's bombs immediately, and I want to use the chasers to build the land up really quickly. So that's what we're going to do here. We are going to bust out the strong stuff, and hopefully not get destroyed here. Temptation, oh, is the charm skill, and of course it... Okay, so yeah, charm is a bitch. It's so annoying. Do I want to source a rain? No, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use Miraculous Cure here, which means I want to use Phoenix Tail to revive. And yeah, this is where Zero Kelvin Buster is going to come in handy. So we're just going to cure Satori and Kelvin Buster away for just now. So revive, and then of course there's a death there as well. And Evasion is also annoying, and that's not so fun, but ah well, we have managed to get some stuff going here. Yeah, this fight can be kind of tricky, especially when you cannot defend your whole party in one go. Like I said, I tested this with the Poison Shield, and the Poison Shield is a much better formation for this. But we are set up now for trying to do things this way. So this is what we have to deal with. Let's go ahead and Leaf Shield Patchouli actually this turn. I think I need to Leaf Shield Notori a bit more often now, because Notori is very quick to get wrecked here. And maybe that's what I should have done this turn, I don't know, but yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I'm actually just gonna defend the these two here though, because I think that's better for just now. Like, it feels like it would be better to defend them, and then I think I'm also gonna need to area heal this turn. Lithos has the same 65,000 HP that her sisters did, so this fight will take quite a while. I don't really have a better way of dealing with this one yet. And did Sunai seriously just get petrified? Oh my god. Well, that's fight over from at that point, because yeah, there's no way I can cure Sunai. If you have, there are two things that you could have at this point, which I actually don't have at the moment. One of which is on, well, I mean, Byakuran can help, because Byakuran can use Goddess Breath and cure the petrify. Satori actually does have a dispel, like cure permanent status thing as well, and I don't actually have that skill. It's one that you can learn in stage 5, and it's really helpful, and I don't know why I don't have it actually, because it'd be very good right now. But this fight is basically over now. Although there is one way that I could come back from this, and that is to actually go ahead and kill Sunai and then use Moko to revive her. That's literally the only way I am going to get around this at the moment, is to do that. So that is what we are going to do. Do I want to self-induce here? I think I want to self-induce here, get some extra firepower. Although why I'm well, yeah, I don't quite know why I'm defending Sunai when she's gonna die, but I do. There's the Vortex. Crap. Well, okay. Apparently, Tremor Wave is an Earth attack, so I guess that kind of helps. Alice is gonna have to take one for the team here. There's not really much of a better way around this, and I just self-induced for no reason as well. It's kind of annoying. Let's Leaf Shield Notori this time so that she just doesn't get smashed in the face in one go here. No charm off of that, that's good. So we can have ourselves set up here. And that's fine. So the enemy doesn't usually target petrified characters, but you can. So that's kind of cool. I can't res buff until next turn though, so that's annoying. I'm just gonna have Sunai heal herself here, I think. And we'll get a little bit of damage out. It's really not going to be too significant, but we'll do what we can, really. I mean, the Fireland is still heavily in favour, so there is that. But the Evasion just means I'm going to not get any damage out now, because that debuff is really, really strong. You can see no damage whatsoever. I need to get an attack buff immediately to overwrite that, because otherwise I'm not going to get any damage done, and that is obviously not a good sign. So this fight can go downhill in many, many ways, and like I've said, this team at the moment is not particularly great for it, because I'm under-leveled, let's be honest. I've said that already, that I really just do not have the levels to handle this right now in a comfortable fashion. But I have been able to do it before. Admittedly without using this formation though. This form is not helping at all. So that is something I really should have considered, but I wanted to try it out, and this is the, I guess, punishment for that. Oh, this... I actually haven't seen this attack used yet, and apparently that is a higher tier of Petrify, so nuts to you. Okay, this is really not going well. Source of Rains is the ideal option to have here though, so we shall handle that just now. And of course I get Vortex straight away, so... Vortex is really just super ultra annoying, and Sunai didn't even... not Sunai, Satori didn't learn it either, so... I basically am running on, you know, like weakened stuff here, because there's not much point in me continuing this fight, in the sense of Satori didn't learn Vortex, and she learned Vortex in every single other instance I've had of this fight so far, and that is a huge deal, because Vortex is really annoying to learn outside of this fight. Like, it takes a long time to reach anyone who can give you Vortex in the post game. Although Vortex at the same time is not necessarily a move I would want to use all the time, because I kind of like my buff skills. It's the principle of learning it, you know? You want to have the skill available to use, and obviously I do not have that luxury right now. So let's just go Wind of Swords, and I shall 0 Kelvin Buster this turn. And area... no, I want a mass heal, I think, actually, because I need a reasonable amount of HP even, but I need to be able to heal everyone, and Satori... Seriously?! I have, like, 75% resistance to this stuff. Why am I getting petrified so much? I have a res buff as well. Like, this is just stupid. This is really stupid, because... ugh, hatred. So much hatred. I guess I'm just gonna 0 Kelvin Buster at the moment. I mean, I'm still in this fight, which is surprising. But, obviously, Vortex does not help, though. Because that's kind of just destroying my damage output here. Funnily enough, because Satori is petrified, she didn't get affected by the, Vortex there, which was weird. But okay, let's res buff again, because we know that that is necessary, and yeah, this is why this fight just doesn't go well for the most part, because Vortex is so dumb. And obviously the status, she has enough induction where she can inflict status even with huge amounts of resistance. And it's not fun. But hey, that is the life we have to deal with. Alice has still got enough HP at the moment where she can live a little bit longer, which is fine. We'll magic buff this turn, and we'll start getting these chases off and actually get some damage out here. That would be nice. See, the problem is Lithos can Vortex like every second turn if she feels like it. That's gonna hurt. Okay, not really. Oh yeah, it's a water-based attack, isn't it, Dissolve? So, Dissolve is another skill that Satori can learn, and I'm kind of disappointed that she didn't. But, oh well. Let's just Legion this turn. I'm actually just gonna heal rather than use Wind of Swords here, because I'm probably going to get well, even if I get Vortex this turn, that would be okay in the sense of Alice is the only one getting hit by it, and I really just need to get damage out here. Like, when I'm able to do damage, I can do, like, a fair amount per turn. Don't charm. Thank you. You can see 1800, and then the Chaser is another 1500, so yeah, that's a lot of damage. The problem is it takes a lot of setup, and it doesn't help when you get Vortexed every like 3 or 4 turns. I'm gonna 0 Kelvin Buster this turn because I do need to use Hotspot Vulcan. Patchouli is also running out of MP, which is not fun, and Sunburst is probably the best I have here. So it's kind of a war of attrition. Like, she does... Ouch! I didn't know I was that low on HP with Satori there. Oh well. I have 5 revives left, so we're okay. Yeah, this is sort of the problem with the way this ends up getting set up. I think I just want to heal Patchouli, and because I'm down an attacker, we're just going to 0 Kelvin Buster again, because I get more damage out of that. And Fire Crest is my best single target attack. I could use a spell card here, but Agni Radiance takes a lot of MP, and I don't really trust that to work right now. You know, it won't do enough extra damage. It does about 4k when maxed out. Does it even do that? I don't think it even does that, so yeah. It does like 2100 or something when it's set up, so not really super useful at this current point in time, right? I need to res buff first. I need to re-element myself with fire. Somehow Notori has not been vortexed in the time frame here, which is kind of interesting. And well, Lithos is getting there. Like, we're close to taking her out. That is at least something useful here. That doesn't help though. Okay, just don't. Patchouli got petrified. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than dying entirely here. So I'm going to protect Notori, Little Legion here. We need to obviously bring Patchouli back, and Atomic Kappa will have the fire element, so that actually should do a lot of damage here. Because it always hits Strength Medium. Yeah, it should do a decent amount. And we are going to area heal on Notori's side, so that I can get her health back up. Yeah, 7,500. That is a significant chunk of damage right there. Goodness, that is what you call wrecking loss here. So Alice only has 1 Little Legion left, which isn't great, but she has enough going for her where we should just be able to finish this. So let me just get a magic buff going here, and we shall use... This time I will use Agni Radiance because it's faster as a skill, so that is a thing. And I think with Sunburst as well, we might finish it this turn, because Agni Radiance will do a decent bit more damage. It's not fast enough to go ahead here though. Oh, don't charm. Oh, you charm Satori. Ow. Can you tell that there's a Slayer effect on that skill for Alice here? Because yeah, there's kind of a Slayer effect on that skill. It's pretty ridiculous. Okay, so I didn't get the damage out I wanted there, but I should hopefully just be able to finish it with this. 0 Kelvin Busters like 3k, then there's another... Wow, that missed though. Oh my god, how did that do so much damage? Oh, Tremor Wave is nerfed. Oh, nice double cast. That should finish things off. There we go. Like I said, the most annoying of the sisters by far. But she does give a very healthy chunk of experience, which gets a few level ups. That is pretty nice. So level 68 for Alice. She no longer learns any new skills, but check that HP total. 820 HP is ridiculous, man. So don't deviate from the poison shield formation. This is the lesson I'm learning here. A lot of the trouble I had with that fight is because I couldn't shield everyone. You know, in terms of survival, I couldn't shield every character in one go, so it kind of hurt a lot. Anyway, that is you taken care of. What unimaginable strength, right? So this is the cutoff text, because we weren't scored over enough. Victory is ours! Alright. Uh-oh. That didn't sound good. What was that? That sound is not great. Holes in time and space opening up in front of us here. No, it's a crack in the barrier. And what's gonna come out of that crack? Oh my. Indeed. It seems like everything has been settled, right? This voice... Well, this is a game about voice acting. How are we supposed to know what the voice is? Apparently, yeah, it's the rest of the Gorgon sisters coming back. Everyone's now here. Sis, Bio. There we go. Yeah, a little bit. Oh god, please don't start with that. Alright, so now that we've defeated them all, yeah, what's the goal? Yeah, I mean, you did kind of promise. So why have you started this whole incident? To show everyone power and dignity. Okay, well, dignity I don't think you've shown very much. But yeah, it's just a show of power. That doesn't really sit too well with me, but you know, it's a bit conceited if I'm being honest. However, apparently they are not going to stop the incident still, because supposedly their authority still has not been shown, huh? So now Majesty has to be shown, huh? We defeated you all already, seriously. Apparently it's not been settled yet though, because they have a combination form? Okay. So we're gonna have to fight them all at once, essentially. Okay. Whatever. You know, if that's how you want to play, that's how we're gonna play. Final battle is going to begin, except it's not, but you know, details. Now we have this whole big climatic text thing coming up, so everybody's gonna have their super pose, and I'll see this through to the end. Yes, you will, Moko. So yeah, from Lady Yuko, orders will be carried, blah blah blah. Fate has guided us to show everyone Satori's smug power. And yeah, it was pretty interesting, but wow, that's actually English translated into British UK English as well. I did not actually realize that. That's cool. Most of these translation patches, of course, are done by Americans, right? So you would expect the American spellings of words to come out. The final and strongest weapon, shaking my reed about, and yeah, suitable punishment will be given. Yeah. Patchouli has not been happy coming out of the mansion here, and oh, shut up, Iron. Seriously. You are not honest and pure. But yeah, the modern day god Sunai is going to have some miracles bestowed as well. And yeah, this has been going on quite a while. Where are we? I don't even know exactly where we are in parts by now, but I think we must be into the 90s at this point, right? This is the longest project I've ever done. Even longer than Galaxy 2, which was still a dumb idea at the time. But whatever. Yeah, when Reimu gets serious, we are going to see true power. Wouldn't be fun, blah blah blah. Yeah. The ancient guardian deities. Alright. However, that is not what we are going to do at the moment. But this final fight, just so you can see, we are going to have to fight with two parties. And yeah, that's a thing. So that's that. And you basically have control over the two parties here. As it says, there is a party switch command that you can only use once, and it will change your party to the second set. And essentially, whichever party that you go in with first is the first party that you use here for the fight itself. So you set up your parties, you can still change your accessories and stuff here. So you can see, you know, I can still use all of the gear despite the characters being in separate parties this time, so that's kind of cool, you know. But like we said, you can change them around, and if you don't want to do it just now, it's like, oh, I actually don't want to do this fight just yet. Don't worry, because you can exit out, and now when you go to where you fought Lithos, it transitions to here. So that is how things are going to go from here on out. However, that is still going to be at least 2 or 3 parts away, because I still have Stage 21's mini-bosses and whatnot to show off, and I do need to try and discuss some of the items that we would attempt to get before settling this. Plus, this is the one point where I do need to go back and grind out some levels, because I am far too underleveled for most of the stuff here. So, I mean, Marissa's just about at the right sort of level, Reimu is very underleveled, Sanai's at the right level, Aya is extremely underleveled, although Aya's probably going to be a commander, so that doesn't really matter quite so much, but I still want to show off 1 or 2 skills from Aya, so yeah. Sakia is incredibly underleveled, Patchouli is still pretty underleveled, so I could do with getting Patchouli up a bit more. Notori is extremely underleveled, Alice is at the right level, and Satori is at the right sort of level. So I really do need to try and get these characters up, and unfortunately there is going to be a pretty big disparity for some of them, because it's really hard to do Stage 21 without Sanai. It's pretty hard to do it without Alice. So those two are most likely going to be incredibly high level compared to the others here, but I will do my best to get everybody else up to a reasonable level without being in, I was going to say excruciatingly over leveling some characters, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Without excessively leveling like every character, I will try and get a reasonable level set going here. Probably through the commander slots more than anything, but you know, that's going to be a thing. Also, I didn't mention Yomu. Yomu's pretty well leveled, although she could do with being slightly stronger so that she gets the 1 or 2... I think it's actually into the 70s that she gets her next skill that would be useful, so yeah, whatever. Moko's just about at the right level, and Byakuren is incredibly underleveled, so yeah, should really make a mention of every character where possible. So, this has been Gamer Cow, of course, playing Touhou the Jin Sapphirus, and next time we go ahead and try to boost our characters up a little bit further so that we can take on the final fight. Until then, well, take care, really. There's not much else to say, so yeah.